Hare Krishna. Jai Shaparikar Guru Gauranga Radha Madan Mohan Ji Radha Govinda Dev Ji Radha Gopinath Ji Ki Jai Guru Gauranga Nityananda Prabhu Advaita Pusla Gadadhara Prabhu Sivash Pandit Ji Panchatattvatmak Shri Gaur Hari Ki Jai Jai Bhagavan Shri Ramachandra Ji Ki Jai Shya Ramachandra Bhagavan Ki Jai Lakshmana Hanuman Ji Ki Jai Jai Vaishnava Groganna Shiva Shambhu Maharaj Ki Jai Rameshwara Shiv Ji Maharaj Ki Jai Rameshwara Shiva Shambhu Ji Ki Jai Har Parvati Ji Ki Jai Saparikar Har Parvati Ganapati Ji Ki Jai Skanda Deva Kartika Deva Ki Jai Jai Saparikar Bhagavan Bhagavati Shri Krishna Radhika Ki Jai Saparikar Swayam Bhagavati Swayam Rupa Srimati Radha Thakurani Ki Jai Swayam Bhagavan Rasaraja Sarup Shri Krishna Chandra Ji Ki Jai Jai Saparikar Bhagavan Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Jai Gaur Srila Gurupada Padma Srila Prabhupada Samasta Rupanuga Guru Varga Samasta Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to assembled devotees. শোনো, হরিকথা চলাকালীন খোলা হবে না, সাউন্ড হবে না, যাতায়াত করবে না. Somebody outside is supposed to come in. I would not like to see any sound disturbance or destruction during Harikatha unless it is emergency. Hare Krishna. Let's complete karo. Krishna. Hare Krishna. কোনো মুভমেন্ট দরকার নেই, ছেড়ে দাও না, হয়েছে? Hare Krishna, offering my loving regards to all the devotees assembled here. I am invoking, paying my humble obeisance to Srila Guru Maharaj and all the Guru Varga, invoking their divine grace, invoking their auspicious grace. I am going to start Harikatha session now. Recently, one nice devotee put forward, placed a nice question that saying, quoting my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak, Siddhara Deva Goswami Pad, that once the Guru Maharaj mentioned that stones have jiva. There is jiva in stones. So, we didn't find that quotation exactly, but the devotee came across that sort of saying by Guru Maharaj. Even the stones are jivas or jiva inside. So how could it be? Because that's the question, query of the devotee. We usually understand stone is matter. Stone is nothing but just gross material stuff. So what does Srila Guru Maharaj mean? What did Srila Guru Maharaj actually indicate by such type of expression? Did he mean that stones have soul, or he meant that there are some jivas also living inside this stone? He just wanted some clarification. So, in a nutshell, precisely, I can say, Srila Guru Maharaj didn't necessarily mean that the stones have soul. Okay, I repeat, Srila Guru Maharaj didn't necessarily mean or actually mean anyway that the stones also have jiva soul, they are jivas. But what he actually meant was that there are many jivas residing, living inside the stones, inside a piece of stone, in the form of different bacteria or some sort of viruses or some kind of very small type of jivas living inside stone. Jiva souls are everywhere. So the whole universe is actually filled in, not in every inch, not even in every centimeter, but in every millimeter, or even smaller than that. How do you call it? Millimeter or nanomillimeter. So everywhere, so many invisible bacteria, viruses, all living creatures, different dynamics, different levels, layers of creations. It is filled. Almost no space is left without their living. So, actually, this is a very wonderful, amazing combination. I mean, this our earthly space, okay, or universal space is factually the wonderful, amazing combination of living and non-living beings. Okay? Living beings and material beings, all coexistently living together, independent of each other as well as in interrelation to each other, both ways. Sometimes peacefully coexistent, other times non-peacefully coexistent. They're living together, whether through peaceful coexistence or through conflicting coexistence. Good relation or bad relation? I am saying because this land is called a land of exploitation too. Although this land, earthly plane, worldly plane, has got many positive, great things, many positive, good things, also it contains bad things. It contains many positive, beautiful things in our life. Also it contains different non-beautiful, ugly things, ugly, evil things. We find mode of goodness, some flow of goodness. Side by side we also see flow of passion and ignorance. Flow of flow of evilness. Flow of goodness, flow of evilness. Existence of good and evil side by side in coexistence. Okay, conflicting coexistence are found from the time immemorial. The material plane, the plane of exploitations. Again, it's a combination of good and bad, beautiful and ugly things, positive and negatives, good and evils. That's how such plane is designed. Sometimes we see, oh, life is so beautiful. Other times, oh, life is so miserable. We have both expressions in our life. We have both ways of feelings in our lives, isn't it? Some say, oh, some say, I don't want to go, I don't want to die here. Everything is so beautiful, life is so beautiful, positive. I want to be and be and be. Some others say, I don't want to live on this plane anymore. I just want to get out of this plane of existence and go to the divine worlds. I'm fed up, I'm tired of. We are tired of this material plane, miserable. We want to get away. Both feelings are right. According to different time, place situations, different actions and reactions of law of karma, individual law of karma, universal law of karma. Sorry, I say individual karma and collective karma, both. Sometimes we think, oh, karma means it's mostly individual karma. No. World of karma is composed of combination of individual nature and collective nature. Sometimes you don't directly involve in doing something, but someone else closely related with you, connected with you, doing something, good or bad. So that action or reaction, that the reaction of that karma done by some other people closely connected with you, like in a family, connected with you, also comes to you. Although you are directly not involved yourself to do that particular action, but because some others are doing that kind of action who are closely connected with you, you cannot avoid. Some karma also comes through them to you because you are closely connected. Such as the children suffer because of parents. Parents suffer because of children, because of their close connections, biological or mental. connections. They cannot avoid. This is called collective karma. Karma, law, karma so much influenced by these three modes of nature, adhyatmic, adhibhautik, adhidaivik, described in the Holy Scriptures. We call tritap, three kinds of miseries, three kinds of heats, three kinds of miserable heats in our life, described in the Scripture. Adhyatmic, adhidaivik, adhibhautik. We all know about, devotees aware of this more or less. Adhyatmic means the troubles or distressful effects, troubling effects happening caused by one's own self in one's life, called adhyatmic. In other words, the troubles happening from your own self, from myself. Troubles coming, appearing from my own individual activities. It's coming. So that is called adhyatmic. Adhibhautik means the troubles caused by other living beings, other humans or other animals living in the surrounding. Like myself, I have no problem. I have no trouble from my own self, from my own being, but the trouble being caused from the surroundings. From other living beings, living creature, living around me. So that's called adhibhautik. And adhidaivik means the natural calamities, great troubles, turmoils being caused by natural calamities like earthquake, drought, super cyclone, flood, tsunamis, or something coming from the space. Mostly geographical, related to the natural calamities. So none of us can be avoiding, I repeat, none of us can be really avoiding all these three kinds of miseries completely. All of us will have to take some part of it in our life. It is mandatory. While living on this plane, this material plane, mundane plane, planes of misery and exploitation to a great extent, we cannot avoid all these troubles. No matter how much we try our best, it will come. Some portion will come. Yes, what's your query?
I become the devotee of Krishna. Only good thing will be happening. And if bad things happen to me, also adjust.
Very good question. Krishna says, originally you have been born on this plane driven by your law of karma. This plane is meant for you for learning through experience. So, have to be prepared accordingly. You are living on the plane of education, for learning through experience, and also your learning should be through rectifications also. Learning to make progress through comparative studies of different comparative experience of good and bad, and something in between, neutral, neither good nor bad. So learning to make more progress, also learning through rectification. So sometimes this is such plane to be making progress at least partially through rectifications. Progress can happen. We can make progress from this plane. Directly through positive learning and making progress, also making progress through rectifications, learning how to rectify us and make progress. Eliminate our negative portion, our sides of failures, and accept sides of success, aspects of success, embrace. In language of Guru Maharaj called acceptance through eliminations. Intelligent eliminations, acceptance of anukulam, acceptance of the favorable life, everything favorable, by eliminating non-favorable stuffs. Eliminating the sickness in order to accept health, healthful life, healthy life. So, back to the point, this land is known to be the land of comparative experiences, through well and woe, pains and pleasure, good and bad. So, now back to the point, when we are becoming Krishna devotees, in other words, while we are becoming the devotees of Krishna with all sincere efforts, not by acting, not by dramatic acting, superficial acting, but sincerity. So what happens definitely, all the negative sides, the bad sides, negative sides, unwanted, undesirable sides, slowly and steady way taking leave. No doubt about taking leave from our life, filling our life with more positive Krishna conscious energies. But it takes some time for that anartha mukti. It takes some time to get the liberation from all the anarthas, unwanted, undesirable material problems and stuffs, while we are running through the process. But still we are situated and flowing through the process of becoming Krishna devotee, becoming really Krishna conscious. In the process, still we have not really become devotees, but we are on the way to become devotee. Because it takes a lot. It takes a good qualification to actually become devotee of Krishna. But prior to that level, it's a process of becoming devotees of Krishna. So in that situation, while we are on the way to actually become real devotee of Krishna, whatever way, through Kanistha Adhikar, Madhyamadhikar, Uttamadhikar, even to become a pure Kanishthadhikari devotee, neophyte devotee, also requires some qualification. So while we are situated in the process of becoming devotee of Krishna, so many anarthas come in our life. Many sicknesses are coming out. We call it purification. In the process of treatment, the process of good treatment, okay, divine treatment of Krishna consciousness, some hidden sicknesses in the form of sankalpa, different material sankalpa, vikalpa, different types of anarthas caused by our misuse of the freedoms and also our karma, past karma, present karma, they come out. They come out to be treated, to be purified. Not that they come out or to continue with and disturb us. No, not that. So we have to wait with patience. Having our mind and heart filled with great hope, with full positive energy of Krishna consciousness, we need to be waiting for a while to get rid, to give them some time for our anarthas to go away, to leave us. Okay, get rid of them. Then, so by the action of bhajana kriya, Ado Saddha Tata Sadhu Sangha, with Sadhu Sangha, bhajana kriya starting, activities of the bhajana, to become devotees of Krishna, to be devotees of Krishna, and after being devotee of Krishna, there is no end of how much we can become devotee of Krishna. There is no end to such conception, no end of the definition of how much one can become devotee of Krishna. So, number one, making a real start of becoming devotee of Krishna. Number two, second phase, third phase, after becoming devotee of Krishna, to be continuing to the endlessness, being more and more and more and more devotee of Krishna to the infinite. Okay, that is the fact. So in the process of becoming devotee of Krishna, the anarthas are eliminated, definitely. Treatment has already started. Bhajana kriya, one phase of the bhajana kriya, bhajana activity is like big treatment, healing. Okay, healing treatment. Other fold of the bhajana kriya is bringing more spiritual health, filling you up with positive health. One portion getting rid of the sickness, anartha. Other portion of our bhajana kriya giving boost, improving, helping us to improve, positive sides, positive gain, progress. In this way, we go forward. Elimination, further acceptance. Okay. Further eliminations as required, eliminations of all unfavorable stuffs in order to have further acceptance. Goes on. But at some point of the level of bhajana kriya, on the higher level of bhajana kriya, no much elimination found, because there is no more requirement of further elimination. In other words, there are no more unwanted stuffs are there to be eliminated. We are already pure. One has already reached a pure plane. Okay? So the acceptance through elimination is not required, not applied on the higher plane, higher upper qualified plane of the bhajana kriya, but below that level. Okay. Sometimes Guru Maharaj mentioned a positively negative energy, negatively negative and positively negative, in order to attract Krishna's attention. Okay, in order to enhance Radha Krishna Leela, contribute to that, sometimes there could be some functions of elimination It's a positively negative thing, not negatively negative. Cannot be put together on the level of anartha, those elimination, functions of eliminations. But in the language of Guru Maharaj, the more you develop your positively negative aspect, negative functioning, the more you can actually attract the positively positive energy, positively positive nectarian attention of Krishna to come to you, to relate to you, okay, to embrace you. That's what is the positive function of negativity. It attracts the positive. If both sides are positive, then, okay, one positive thing can also be united with another positive thing. No doubt about it, positive can be united with positive, but the way while positive gets united with negative, it's a different taste. Through Brahma Bhava, therefore we find leftist wings, leftist temperament in the Radha Krishna Leela. Not always I'm ever ready to give everything to you, Krishna, easily available. No, that leftist mood makes things little bit difficult for Krishna to avail. Okay, doesn't allow Krishna to get everything easily from them. In order to create more hankering, in order to create more eagerness, intensify Krishna's eagerness and desperation to have that special from the devotee. So left-wing mood, temperament is greatly utilized. That is an example of the power of positively negative. So that is different thing. That's totally transcendental. So now back to the point. Sometimes we find so much disturbance, even turmoils appearing in the lives of Krishna devotees. We have to understand in the first place, it's not really happening in the life of a real Krishna devotee, but is somehow someone trying to become Krishna devotee, number one. Number two, even when one is making progress to become Krishna devotee in a slow but steady way, still some test is appearing. Some difficulties, adversities appearing, but taste appearing. But as we face those things with the spirit of divine elite commandos, okay, that these are appearing in my life from my karma, not directly allowed by Krishna, not directly caused by Krishna's active will, but allowed by Krishna's passive will, passive approval. Krishna is not actively involved with our karmic, sufferings and all these, karmic enjoyment or karmic suffering. Krishna is not directly involved. But because nothing can happen without his will or sanction in some way, so some sort of passive will of Krishna is involved to allow it, but not directly activating that, directing it, but it's a passive way, mystical passive way, allowing it to happen according to the law of karma. Okay, just as many things are happening in our social life by law, by structure of law. Always the prime minister, president, or they are not directly involved. But the things are going on just flowing by law, by structure of the constitution. It's like that. Okay, so like things sometimes, the money we use in our life, money, duly signed by governor or president to validate it. But they are not directly responsible all the time when the money getting misused or properly used. Although passive sanction, the active sanctions are there, but they are involved in a more passive way, not direct way. They are not directly responsible how the money getting used and what reaction will come because they are signatured on that. They cannot be held as directly responsible. These are some material examples to give some idea, okay, that Lord Krishna is not directly responsible and not involved with all this cosmic setup of actions and reactions, okay, by law of karma and all. But ultimately nothing can be happening without Krishna's sanctions of Krishna's potency. Therefore, just allowing it, kind of passively. Because sometimes we feel, why Krishna is sending this? Why Krishna is sending that to me? Krishna is a very busy person. He is the Supreme Lord of the whole infinite universe. He has no time to do harm. He has no time, energy to be so particular, to be sending this bad thing to you. God, Krishna will be smiling. Krishna will be smiling at, thinking, what kind of devotee I am having. Always complaining and complaining before even becoming my real devotee. It has started complaining against me from the very beginning. Oh God. So I have to find out some way or make it how to handle, how to take care of these impatient devotees. Full of complaints. Allegations, yes, please.
Because sometimes just devotees say everything is in Krishna. Sometimes it's better to say it like it's my own fault, my own karma approach, and don't blame Krishna.
Exactly so. Exactly so.
If I have idea it's Krishna's, that it like it's for my purification, for learning process.
Yes, learning process, Krishna is allowing in a passive way for my purifications.
So both adjustments are possible.
Yes. Both ways of adjustments are possible. Exactly so. So, and that is especially on this material plane. In this plane of exploitation, plane of limitations, plane of passions and ignorance, okay, plane of coexistence of good and evil, life and matter, matter and life. Okay. So, on the divine plane is more controlled directly by the sweet will of Krishna. All the happenings, all the activities on the divine plane, divine abode of Krishna, Radha Krishna, Mahaprabhu, they are more directly controlled by the positive sweet will, not passive way, actively. And still, in many cases, it's all arranged by Krishna's potency. Krishna says, I have no time. Let my yoga maya, other potencies take care of it, to organize my lila. If Krishna has to all the time actively arrange everything for his own lila, then he cannot enjoy. He cannot play his flute. Cannot observe and enjoy playing his flute song because he has to stay so busy organizing and arranging for everything. Okay. although everything can happen automatically, by just Lord Krishna's will, the sweet will of Krishna is so powerful. It arranges everything on its own. Okay, without directly involving Krishna. Krishna is directly involved. At the same time, he is not always directly involved. All arranged by Yoga Maya, other aspects of Krishna's potency. Like, Shambit, Sandhini, Ladini, these potencies are the aspects of Krishna's potency. Shambit, Sandhini, Ladini. Yoga Maya, of course, there. So number 2, okay, sometimes difficulties, back to the point, difficulties come in the, let me say, devotee's life for rectifications, learning through rectifications, purifications, and make progress. Be purified and make further progress. And to make those devotees also stronger and powerful by testing, by putting him or her through some test of becoming elite commando in the spiritual world. Okay. Then while one passes through that purifying test, after, see, when it so happens those devotees, like we find in the great lives, the lives of the great devotees, many great devotees, were so much faced with experiencing so much difficulties, adversities, turmoil. What happened ultimately? What happened ultimately in their lives? They came up, they emerged with flying color glories, ultimately. Okay. They came up with full, wonderful glories decorated with, embellished, decorated with, effulgent, with the glories, ultimately. Victorious. Because they became elite commandos. Ultimately. Became very strong and powerful and very efficient. Somewhat we can find in the example of some Shaolin monks, the trainer guru of the Shaolin monks fighter. Okay, very, very powerful. But great life, great guru. So he became trainer, training master come guru. And they take so much pride to become a hero in their life. Instead of thinking, so much austerity, so much penance, have to go through so painstaking test, training. If they think like that, if they take all this in a non-adventurous spirit, with non-adventurous spirit, they cannot receive, they cannot have that qualification. Okay? They cannot come up to that heroic level. The heroic pride cannot come up to the level of heroic qualification, heroic achievement. They will be living in an ordinary way. So why shouldn't the Krishna devotees take with that adventurous spirit, higher, positive, adventurous spirit, while the adversities, turmoil come in life, face and go through? Ultimately, you will stay protected as long as you keep your full faith in Krishna, having prayer, not tossing any way, not even not budging. That's the word I'm looking for. Not budging in any way from your powerful stand of having faith in Krishna while passing through the period of adversity, turmoil. Okay? That is a great test of the quality of your devotion. Then the result which is waiting for you finally is victory and victory. Decorated with qualifications, power like elite, divine elite commandos. All these adversities is nothing to you. You become so powerful. After going through the training period, all the ordinary, they become so ordinary, all these adversities or even turmoil, which is great difficulties and turmoils to the ordinary people, ordinary human beings. Okay, it's nothing to them. Okay, it's like some play for them. They become so strong and powerful. It's like for ordinary person, something so heavy and something so heavy and you cannot move easily. For an elephant, it's nothing. Just touching it with and throwing it away. For an elephant, it's so strong, powerful. So it depends. So that's why those verses appeared to educate us, to give us this same message to the Holy Scriptures. You can remember those verses like Tattenu Kampang, Shushamikshama, Guru Maharaj often explained about. Tattenu Kampang, Shushamikshama, Bhanjana Evatma Kritanga Vipakam, Hridbhag Bapu Vir Bidadhan Namaste, Jiveto Jo, Mukti Padesha Dayo Bhak. Sarvabhauma Pandit said, no, Bhakti Padesha Dayo Bhak. Even on the face, at the moment, on the face of receiving so much difficulties, adversities in life, turmoil in life, when one can steadily maintain faith in Krishna, and rather telling Krishna, you are so compassionate, oh Lord, you are so gracious and compassionate to me, that you are caring about me to purify me so much, putting me through such training, putting me through such training period to make me stronger, more powerful. Let me accept it as your compassion, none other than another form of your grace on me. Okay. You are paying some attention towards me in this way, to test me, purify me, train me up. And make me stronger, more qualified to be transcending, going beyond all these difficulties with elite commando-like power. You are very compassionate on me. I take it all as some compassion, some real compassion from you in my life. I know I am your devotee. Ultimately, you will be protecting me. You cannot throw me away, cannot leave me alone. Ultimately, you will be protecting me, taking care of me, nurturing me. So, I know this truth. I know this fact with my full heart, with full faith in you. You want to test me more? Do it as you want. Krishna. Okay. I am not going to go away from you. I have already accepted wholeheartedly embraced your shelter. I am not going to go away from me. My faith is not going to be disturbed by all these things. I wholeheartedly embraced your shelter. I know I am situated in your shelter. Finally, you will be protecting me, taking care of me, nurturing me. I am not concerned about that. So, you wish to be allowing such experience of so much difficulty and turmoil in my life. Let it be so. There is some purpose behind, okay, to make me more powerful, more stronger, to make me more detached from the material life through such experiences, make me grow more detachment, to make me experience how evil and how bad it can all be, okay, to live a material life on the material existence, to make me realize the distinctions between divine and material, between the mundane planes of misery and the divine plane of pleasure, pleasant fulfillment. So, I'm learning, you want to make me learn this, experiencing this in a hard way, not all a soft way, hard way, so that I really experience what is the distinctions between these two. Okay. Since you want to be allowing it, let me take it. But, so, when it happens in such a way with that devotee with deep faith in Krishna, when the devotee, those devotees can take all these with unflinching faith in Krishna and waiting what is going to happen in life. Then, by and by, okay, soon, Krishna cannot but intervene. But Krishna cannot but intervene. Divine intervention comes. We help that devotee in a slow but steady way, sometimes fast way, quicker way, sometimes slow but steady way. He takes away all the miseries, relieves his devotee from all those miseries. Okay, now enough training. Now it is resting time. Enough training. Okay, no more austere, painstaking training. Now, be relaxed and rest. Okay, you pass through. You pass through your examination. You pass through. Now you have become powerful devotee of mine. Look at Hanumanji. Of course, they are decorated. They are equipped with so much superior, unlimited superior ability. See, so powerful. Little turmoils. I mean, all these great difficulties, turmoils, which are felt, experienced to be so heavy, intolerable, okay, life-killing, nothing to Hanumanji. A powerful personality like Bajrangbali Hanumanji, nothing. Sometimes it's so described. Those turmoils, dangers fear Hanumanji's power. Instead of Hanumanji fears them. They fear. The evil power fears. Rather, evil power, evil force actually so afraid of the good power of Hanumanji. But to speak more of Lord Nrsimha, but to speak more of Lord Ramachandra, Lakshmana. So, Devotees can achieve that level, at least to some extent, not becoming like them, following in their footsteps to some extent. We can be very, very powerful, can be so noble, at the same time can be so strong and powerful. Again, the same thing. While we see, same things are so troublesome, so austere, okay, I don't like, but when the same things, while we take with the adventurous spirit, then we can enjoy them, isn't it? Just the different temperament, different frequency, different attunement of our mind. See? Oh, while somebody climbing the Everest, climbing up the mountain, surfing on the ocean waves, or doing some very, very austere, difficult things with adventures, they are enjoying so much. Even sometimes they're becoming fearful, but still they have some adventurous spirit. But to the ordinary people, oh, I cannot do it. I don't like them. What makes the difference? Someone enjoying and someone, oh, I cannot. The difference is made by temperament, by one's own ability and preparations. In the spiritual world, we find the similar ways. Instead of material adventure, we call it spiritual adventure. Divinely qualified adventure. Divine spirits of adventure. So, when those faithful devotees of Krishna even takes all the negative things, most difficult things happening in their life in a positive way, without any allegation to Krishna, without complaining to Krishna, which is opposite to the normal ordinary devotees. Anything happens, they complain to Krishna. But those devotees are opposite, they stand opposite. They rather take it as some compassion, some favor from Krishna, compassion. Okay, that you are allowing such difficulties and turmoil, some purpose behind it. You cannot do injustice to me. I know. You can never do injustice to me. There is a purpose behind. And that is very positive for me. Okay? Although it looks like negative, I am not going to lose faith in you. I am not going to complain to you, my Lord. Rather, I accept it as some way of compassion. I know, with full faith, you will be protecting me. Then, soon, Krishna cannot stay away. Okay, from being directly involved. Krishna cannot stay away for long. By and by, divine intervention comes. His gracious hand appears to take care of that devotee, to wipe off, take away all the miserable experiences, all the all that painstaking experiences, and then soon the devotee achieves very good, happy, positive state of life, positive satisfaction with some glory of the more powerful, higher achievement, higher spiritual achievements in life. And what I am explaining herein is actually proven in reality in many of the great lives. If you can read into, if you want to know more about, you can read into the great lives. lives of the great devotees, to find how much they went through. But finally they became filled with beauties and glories of victory. The victory and victory. But of course, it doesn't necessarily mean all the devotees of Krishna or who are trying to become devotees of Krishna will have to be going through suffering. It's not mandatory, not essential. Depending on individual and collective karma, how much suffering will be coming in one's life and how much will not. How much will not be. So it depends on individual and collective karma, on time, place, situations, which company we are living in. Making a right choice of the right association is very, 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 very important for all devotees of Krishna, for everyone. I repeat, making a right choice of living in the right environment, within the right association, very, very important. To develop in life, to make real progress in our life. Sometimes, often, we as we stay as ourselves, we with our own personal beings, individual beings, are okay without success or without failure, without trouble or without any happy achievement. Sometimes we ourselves are not so much with problems in life. But what happens, it is all caused, influenced by right and wrong associations. Right environment and wrong environment. But I myself may not be causing much trouble for myself by my own fundamental being, more or less fine. But because of the wrong association, living in wrong environment, wrong association, inviting more troubles and problems, which is not directly generated by my own self, coming from my own self, my own being, but it's coming from the environment, associations. Some question may arise sometimes. Guru Maharaj sometimes explain, adjust with the environment instead of fighting. Here, adjustment doesn't at all mean surrendering to bad environment, bad association, or don't fight with the bad association, bad environment. Don't try to defend yourself. Just submit, be submissive, collapse, and do adjustment accordingly. Never. The Guru Maharaj never mentioned in that way. He always mentioned do's and don'ts. If he really meant by saying adjustment with the environment, environment doesn't have fault, don't try to see fault or fight with the environment, just adjust. If he really meant just surrender, helplessly surrender to the environment, then he will never say don't. He always explained about the sides of don'ts, do's and don'ts. So he said adjust doesn't mean helplessly surrender or compromise, submit yourself to the wrong environment. No. Adjustment means you find out some defensive ways. Don't go to fight. Okay, because you cannot fight with the whole environment so bigger than you, more powerful and much bigger than you. You cannot be fighting. Rather, you have to find out defensive ways so that you can defend. Instead of fighting, defend yourself. Find out certain shelter, you can defend yourself nicely. Okay, so he meant adjustment in that way. While you are trying to swim across a river, don't fight against it, don't swim against the current. That is environment. Rather adjust. You keep on swimming in a way without fighting against the current. Then in a diagonal way, wherever you will be taken, you will go across the river. But if you try to swim across the river fighting against the current, so much of your time, energy will be lost. You cannot achieve success because the current is much more powerful. Natural environment is more powerful than you. But if you become intelligent, make adjustment, you can go across the river without fighting against the current. That's the expert, intelligent way. So often when Guru Maharaj says adjust, make proper adjustment means make intelligent adjustment. Adjustment doesn't mean any helplessly collapsing wrong compromise, helplessly submitting to the environment and fall victim to that. Never. So sometimes devotees may not clearly understand Guru Maharaj's ways of expression. It requires further illuminations, interpretations, commentary on certain fields of Guru Maharaj's explanations. Okay, so just in this connection, I just felt like explaining it. Okay, Guru Maharaj never asking, never telling anyone, oh, make compromise with bad environment, bad association. Okay, because on the other hand, he spoke the glories of taking sadhu sangha, spoke the glories of great benefits of doing sadhu sangha, accepting good association, living life in the mode of goodness. Guru Maharaj also pointed out, don't do this. Do this and don't do this. Okay? So, there's a great deal of difference between making proper adjustment according to time, place, situation, environment, and helplessly compromise, surrender. So Guru Maharaj means first one. Okay? Not that second one, likely making compromise or just helplessly surrendering to the environment and thus making adjustment. No, that is not called adjustment. That's called collapsing. Yes, please.
I actually try to use the best intelligence to adjust the situation.
Yes.
But sometimes there's a point, even if you do not all intelligence, somehow doesn't work. And I kind of collapse or surrender. I can't figure it out. So is that also kind of point? If I will try everything in my power, and if it doesn't work, then somehow.
Then, okay, that's fine. Give it up. Leave it to the hand of the higher wills. Okay, absolute will. When a devotee does that with positive faith and positive temperament, okay, not like giving up with all hopelessness and sad feelings of dejection, but it's beyond me. With such temperament, such feelings, oh, beyond my hand, beyond my control, I cannot do anything. So let me not take more concern. So let me not be more concerned about it, something what I cannot do anything about. Let me leave it in the hand of absolute will. He will take care of me in this situation. So that is a devotee-like way.
First I try everything.
Exactly. Then. But it cannot be done without trying. After finishing all trying and everything, reaching the last point, when you realize, I cannot do more than that. Okay, I already reached my last limit. Okay, so leave it. Absolute will take care of it. It's fine. It's fine. Mm-hmm. But there are certain situations, caused by very bad karma, which are called fatal. Very fatal situation. Nobody can do anything about that. Only next life will bring further adjustment, because it's a fatal situation. Okay, and it is also caused by very bad karma. Cannot do anything. For examples, like sometimes we find in the war field, some soldiers are arrested by the opponents, and they torture so cruelly. They receive a torturous death. What to do? Because they have been involved in such situation. Because both sides are enemies and they are cruel to each other. So they also receive the same treatments for each other. When one is in the war field, or even viciously compelled to be involved with the war, expecting that fatal, there's no other adjustment. Live or die. And everybody, all the soldiers know about it with preparation in mind. Because whether being obliged or voluntarily or out of mandatory obligations, they are in that situation and they are prepared for that, live or die any moment. It's called fatal. The concept of adjustment is totally different in that field, in that kind of fatal environment, compared to normal, environment of living. Both cannot be compared same way. Anyway, so I'm branching out from one point to another. Now, if I come back, which point should I come back? When I say back to the point,
I think you're still on the point. I just think in different situations. Like it.
Finally the mood of Abhisara, temperament of the Abhisara, even more than that. In the dark night, dark, stormy night, full of rains, running through the forest, barefooted, feet are getting torn, like feet are getting wounded, injured, wounded. My thorns are all bleeding, shivering. The dark midnight, so much rains and storms. There are ferocious animals, and running towards Krishna through such forests of Vrindavana on the earthly plane of Vishara. Still, they're so happy, because ultimately, although they are having so much austerity, although their path towards Krishna, the path towards Krishna is filled with so much austerity, penance, painstaking, but still they don't mind, because their mind and heart, whole existence is so filled with love of Krishna. They are in intense love with Krishna. So they are happy to take all the, all the physical distress and everything in that way called Ohisara, finally to be united with their Supreme Beloved. Because their mind and heart is so filled with intense love, pleasure, love, bliss with Krishna, they don't bother about. Can you imagine? They don't simply bother about cutting, pricking, severing, all their pains, avoiding, because of the so much joy to be united with their beloved. See how they take. Of course, that is only very higher plane. Very, very high plane. So, devotees of Lord Krishna should also be developing with some adventurous spirit. Higher, divinely oriented, faith-oriented, adventurous spirit. Then all those little difficulties or so-called great difficulties, adversities, cannot damage them, cannot affect them much. It can happen in reality. Because there is a saying, prayer to Krishna, prayer to Lord. Oh Lord, if you are some way allowing all such heavy trainings, okay, such difficulties in my life, please give me the power of tolerating them. Give me that strength to face them, fight them and survive. That's what. Please sanction that much so that I don't collapse. I don't die, I don't collapse. Okay? So, if you are allowing all these adversity, great difficulties in my life, please send me such strength so that I can face them and survive and remain as your devotee. And it happens when we devotees engage in prayers to Krishna in such a way, some superior ability comes down, appears mystical way. This way or that way, it appears in certain visible and invisible ways in the lives of those devotees. It actually helps those devotees to survive and stay protected. It happens. Not that for the whole time, only difficulty and turmoil continued. No. It begins, it also ends at some point. Happens. So, we should be devotedly faithful, adventurous persons in relation to Krishna, in relation to become devotee of Krishna. Then problem is solved. Temperament. See, suppose I give you a simple example. A mosquito coming and biting me. I can feel so distant. Oh, why coming? So many mosquitoes. I cannot stay here. Why they did not make arrangement to drive away the mosquitoes? I feel so disturbed and disappointed. On the other hand, you take it. Oh, it's just a mosquito. Difference in temperaments. If I take it like a little mosquito, bit me a little bit, I don't need to pay attention. So, little thing. Sometimes we see The great personalities deal with so many problems on the material plane. Great personalities, they deal with so many problems. Head is filled with so many things. The big managerial responsibility and dealing with with adventurous spirit, maintaining certain state of equilibrium, like sitting on the peak of tension, somehow managing in a calm way to take care of the problems. So many problems together coming, in the lives of the big personalities, because they have got bigger responsibilities. Many good things happening, also many bad things happening, many problems also happening. So, without being frustrated or disappointed, we try to maintain calmness. How do you call? Maintain some balance, patience, and dealing with all these problematic things and managing. Whereas ordinary person just becomes so frustrated and angry and disappointed. I cannot do it, throw away, I'm getting mad. See the difference. See the difference in qualities. Okay, distinctions by ability. Both are human beings, isn't it? Both are human beings. One is easily vexed, easily annoyed and irritated and out of patience and disappointed, frustrated, just to manage little problem. On the other hand, the big personality, handling with so many problems, maintaining some, peaceful, relatively calm stand, and without being so easily disappointed, frustrated, maintaining. We find both qualities. Similarly, why am I giving all these examples, simple examples, taking from our realistic, mundane life? Similarly, in the world of becoming Krishna devotees, you can find similar way. Some will become easily disturbed, easily frustrated and disappointed, and while others will not be, knowing, after all, we are living on this mundane plane of existence, plane of exploitations, plane of good and bad, so it's expected. Some misery, troubles, problems are expected, it's natural, normal, because living on this plane is unlike living on the divine plane. So something is already expected on this plane of living. What's the big deal all about? That's something I want to draw all of our attention to. While you are engaged in doing something and you realize you have really made a grave mistake, you are doing blunder, stop it immediately. Don't be continuing it with any illusion or delusions in mind. Once you start realizing you are doing blunder, don't go forward. Don't go further. Stop it immediately and turn around. Lord has given that much intelligence in us. But sometimes we find there are some people, there are some persons in this world, they can start realizing I'm not doing good. It's a wrong. I'm really doing something very wrong. It's not good for me. But still, out of some illusory attachment, caused by illusion and delusion, bad, intoxicating illusion, still going on until learning a big lesson through pains and misery. I should have stopped before. Why did I not do it? But the intelligent devotees, intelligent persons will be stopping immediately as soon as can sense I'm doing some blunder. I should not go forward anymore. We can help ourselves. Okay? While we are praying for higher helps from the Supreme God, Krishna has also given us sufficient intelligence. The intelligence not covered by illusion, I mean the intelligence, talking about the intelligence liberated from illusions, of delusions. Utilize it and help yourself. Help yourself. We can help ourselves a lot by applying our positive intelligence, being free of illusions. Now back to the original point of whether there are jivas in the stone is a jiva, or which way Guru Maharaj meant. Guru Maharaj said even find jivas in stone or something like that. Yes, Guru Maharaj actually indicated there are some jiva souls in stone, some jivas living in stone, inside stone, not necessarily a stone. A stone particle is a jiva. Clear. Otherwise there will be no difference between matter and spirit. If each and every stone or lump of mud or anything, all this matter also contains soul inside, then there will be living being. And there will be no difference between the matter and life, material stuff and living being. The living beings are understood to be having soul inside. Living beings are considered to be jiva souls, jivas. Whereas other material stuffs not considered to be the jivas. So the ways the Guru Maharaj meant or indicated is very clear. So when you break this stone, whether on the top of this stone, outside stone or inside stone, there are many other jivas also living. So, although apparently looks like a stone without containing any jivas inside or outside, but while we make a deeper analysis, further analysis, we can figure out, can discover many jivas also living externally or outside this stone, inside this stone, in that stony existence. Throughout that stone existence, many jivas also living there. That's what he meant. So, the devotee also asked, in case stone is a living being, what happens? If we crack this stone half, or crack this stone in few pieces, is it like stone is dying? So, that will be irrelevant with this explanation, clarification, because stone itself doesn't have any soul. It's not a jiva. But although it is existing as a container, like a container of many jivas. Okay, externally or internally. That's what Guru Maharaj mentioned. Now, in this connection, I can explain this. What about this stone existence? Is it completely material? Or it has also got some spiritual existence? Both. Apparently, normally, or from a gross level of understanding, a stone is a matter. not a spirit, but from little higher or deeper level, finer level of understanding, a stone is not completely matter. It's the combination of matter and spirit. Because finally, nothing is matter. Finally and ultimately, nothing is completely material. Because everything is nothing but energy. Whether matter or spirit, everything is nothing but the different levels of the manifestations of energy. The material way and spiritual way. Therefore, we call material energy and spiritual energy. Often there is an expression, material energy, spiritual energy, but all are basically energies. So matter is a particular aspect of energy. Okay. In other words, matter is nothing but a particular gross level of energy manifestation in that form. Okay, in the form of stone, in the form of matter. So ultimately, everything in this universe, all of our creation, is nothing but different aspects of energy, different types. Okay, different types, different manifestation, dynamics of energies in different forms. Material form, spiritual form. So the stone is also ultimately not so material as it is being understood superficially, like dead matter. It's not that. Ultimately, it's also condensed, a very gross type of condensed form of energy in the form of stone. That's how it has to be understood. So therefore, Thakur Bhaktivinoda explained very nicely, step by step, level by level, about this reality, the different levels of the consciousness, different levels. He explained about different levels of the beings of existence, starting from Abrita Chetan, then Mukulita Chetan, Ardha Vikashita Chetan, Purna Vikashita Chetan. So this, all the material stuff, grossly material stuffs like stones or lump of mud, all these stuffs are actually existing on the level of covered consciousness called Abrita Chetan. It's a dynamic of thickly covered consciousness. And thereafter, Thakur Bhaktivinoda explains, going up step by step, going upward step by step. Thereafter, so the grossest material level is called the level of consciousness thickly covered by material influence. Abrita Chetan. Abrita means covered, Chetan means consciousness. Consciousness thickly covered, totally covered. Then thereafter, Mukulita Chetan. The level of dimension, consciousness manifesting in sprouting form. Like from the seed, sprout coming up. The sprouting level of consciousness called Mukulita Chetan. And thereafter, as the sprouts are growing further, okay, from the sprouting stage, as the sprout is growing further, become Ardha Vikashita, like a small plant form. That's the state, level of half awakened consciousness. Greater than sprouting level, growing little further, okay, a state called half-awakened conscious level. Ardha vikashita chetan. Manifested halfway. Then thereafter, vikashita chetan. Now, more grown further and became normally manifested. Now, the level, the dynamics of consciousness, plane of consciousness, which is normally, nicely, satisfactorily manifested. Okay, satisfactory state of manifest consciousness. And thereafter, finally, Purna Vikashita Chetan. Going further, going higher and further, the ultimate state, the consciousness is that it is fully blossomed. State where consciousness is fully in full bloom, fully blossomed state. That is the level of Krishna consciousness. Entering, at least entering the world of Krishna consciousness, fully blossomed. Or while we say consciousness in full bloom, fully blossomed, we can say that is the world of Krishna consciousness, starting from the beginning, also covering the end, covering up to the final stage, depending on how we are going to view, how we are going to define that state of Purna Vikashita Chetan, the level of consciousness in full bloom, absolutely in full bloom, fully blossomed. That is the world of Krishna consciousness, divine Krishna consciousness. So, now back to the point, the stone's level has been described as the level of consciousness thickly covered. But still there is consciousness. Still there is some spirit, okay, energy, some spirit level, energy level, even in this stone, is thickly covered by material, by material energy, how to say, by material form. There's no other way to express it, why I'm trying to express. But there is some spirit, even inside this stone, throughout a stone, but it is so dormant, it is staying as so dormant, so suppressed, so thickly covered, materially thickly covered. Therefore, they are posing like, not posing, they are existing like stone or lump of mud or bricks or any other stuffs, material stuffs. Like iron, like other metals. But see, look into the other types of stones. Ruby, stones like rubies, pokhraj, sapphire, diamonds. See, they definitely contain such qualities in them, although they are in stone form. They are considered very valuable and beautiful, wonderful stones. They are not like ordinary stones, although in stone form, matter. But something is there, some extra qualification. They are decorated with some extra qualities in them. They look so beautiful. Okay, and they also emanate some subtle spiritual energy. Okay, through them, while coming in contact with the sun ray, stones like rubies, sapphires, diamonds, coming in contact with the sun ray, they reflect through them some mystical spiritual energy which are astrologically appreciated, considered like remedies to satisfy some of the effects of the planets which are inimical or angry towards that person. So they are prescribed. According to astrological science, those stones are prescribed in order to satisfy big stars, certain stars and planets, the 9 grahas, mainly the 9 planets. See, although they are stones, but still they have got some higher quality, some spiritual qualities, mystical way inside them. They are not really deadly matterly matter. They are not deadly materially material. Even for such type of stones, some dacoits or robbers or gundas kill a living human being for that stone. Because that stone is more valuable than that human being. You find funny. Killing a human being to rob away diamonds. Seems like the stones are more valuable than that human life they're killing. Cute, and I don't mean it really, but funny, so funny, found. See? Ordinarily, sometimes people say those who want to make a great amount of money. Okay. If you say, here are some diamonds, here are myself, whom you want to take to make money, they will choose diamonds, not you. They won't choose a living human being ordinarily, a greedy person, but they will choose only diamonds. So diamonds are having upper hand more than living human beings. Making some fun, joking, giving this example in a joking way. To mean, indicate sometimes stones become so valuable. Golds, all these stones like rubies, diamonds, sapphires, pearls, although looking like stone, but highly qualified. So nicely qualified, not treated as ordinary stone, not just treated like some matter. Because it all contains some subtle spiritual energy which are very helpful to the health of our body, mind, spirit. Body, mind, spirit. And therefore many of those stones are prescribed, recommended by astrological doctors. Even we find some medicines are also prepared. In Ayurveda, we find some medicines are prepared from some of these stones and metals. They're crushed and mixed with other herbs or used as medicines. The stones and metals crushed together, powdered form, very subtle, potentized. They get potentized through particular methods and used as medicines. You see, although apparently they are stones, but they have got some medicinal property inside, life-helping property. See, like a dead herb. You collect some herbs from the forest, some dead dead parts of the trees or some plants or herbal plants. They are dead. Apparently they are dead matters, stones. But when the same dead herbs, dead plants are great medicines, often used as great medicines. It means although outwardly they are looking like matter, dead piece of matter, some of the herbal medicines, dried herbal medicines, but they have got life-saving potency inside. They have got life-saving energy inside. Therefore, they are considered as medicines. So they are not dead matter. They cannot be treated. Just some dead material stuff. They have got such energy, spiritual energy, which can help our body, help our health as medicines. So, thus, all the dead matters are not just dead matters as they look like. They have, many of them, or most of them are endowed, equipped with some subtle energy inside. And many of those energies are life-saving. They are greatly helpful to our existence. See? So therefore, ultimately, all these matters are not considered like dead matters. They are simply different forms and aspects of the main absolute energy. Material way or spiritual energies. Material energy, spiritual energy. Higher than spiritual energy, energy divine. Divine energy. So, back to the point, a stone needs to be treated and understood as in a normal, ordinary, stone-like way, like a dead material stuff. Same stone also needs to be treated and understood in a higher and deeper way, not just a dead material stuff. It is full of energy and different frequency and different dynamics. Oh, it's not just a stone, much more than that. Okay. Therefore, the saying came out, philosopher's stone. The saying, philosopher's stone. See, in our spiritual world, we also worship Supreme Lord through different stones, through Shalagrama, holy stones like Shalagrama, Giriraja. Okay, some of the deities are also prepared from the stones. They become but they are also utilized in such holy spiritual practices, holy way.
And in our culture, we have no problem accepting rivers as a presence.
Rivers?
Yes, the Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri. We have no problem because they're flowing. But their culture, they take the mountains. In Chumulungma, and in Europe, there are people who can communicate with certain mountains, but not every mountain. Certain stones, not with every stone. I don't know how it works technically, but I know like you just understand. Do you want to be there? Ask notes in reply. But it's not that it would be every stone. It was a special man here is 1,000 years old.
True. Some of the great yogis can relate, can connect to that frequency. I repeat, some of the great yogis with their higher yogic abilities through meditational way, okay, you can connect to the certain subtle frequency of the stone consciousness. Yes, and they can have some communications. Because definitely the mountains, or to speak more of the trees, even the mountains and river water, they all have their own beings and own dynamics of consciousness. Because if they do not have any life consciousness, life spirit in them, they cannot help another life. Suppose water. Because it contains the water, see, water, air, soil contains some life energy within them. Therefore, they can help us in our life. If the source do not have any life potency, they cannot be helpful to promote, sustain our life, living being, impossible. So food is looking like food, big example, good example. Apparently food looking to be matter. Matter. Okay. But that food contains some life potency, life sustaining potency within it, and that is called spiritual energy inside the food. And while we are eating, our body can receive life potency from the food. We're getting sustained. So food is not just a material stuff. It has got life sustaining potency inside. Spiritual energy also. Something life sustaining, any life sustaining potency can be defined as some level of spiritual energy. It's not material energy. Because it's life sustaining, life nurturing energy. Everything, water, soil, water, air, then surroundings, stones, all types of foodstuffs, all filled with some spiritual energy. Yes?
So let's just say, in a final sense, there is nothing non-alive. Everything is alive in a basic sense.
Yes.
Sense.
On different states, different levels of consciousness. True? That's why we find the great saints, great sages, yogis, many saintly personalities during the Vedic time. They worshipped the Supreme Lord through everything. In the form of plants, through water, through air, wind, sky, through sunlight, through earth. But only the ignorant material people could not understand. They thought, foolishly ignorant people thought, they are all tribal stuffs. How do you say? Means primitive. That's what they call. Oh, they're primitive, had lot of superstitions. Why worshipping tree as God? Worshipping water, worshipping God through water, through soil, through wind, through sunlight. They are primitive. But the fact is other way around. Because those saintly persons, the great sages, yogis, could feel the existence, presence of the Supreme Absolute Being, Divine Being, everywhere through omniscience, through their omnipresence. So they could not see anything without the presence of the Supreme Absolute Lord in energy form. Impersonal energy form, they felt. They experienced, directly felt into that experience, into that omnipresence of the Supreme, all-pervading Divine Being all over. See? And that's how we find in the Holy Scriptures. Great saintly personalities, wise yogis, sages have worshipped Supreme Lord through all. Through water, through soil, through trees, through wind, through sunlight, See? Through him themselves. Sometimes through themselves. Great yogis did by relating to their own Atma and Paramatma, the own soul and super soul, also worship the same supreme absolute being. Okay, through Brahma, Paramatma, and finally Bhagavan. See? Only foolishly ignorant material people cannot understand. They think, oh, we are more civilized and they are less civilized, therefore they worship Supreme God through matter. Because they cannot, those ignorant material people cannot understand, their understanding so limited. Their span, range of understanding, so materially limited. They cannot feel beyond. That's why they think like that. Ordinarily, people cannot understand how the stars and planets and these graha can be related to our life. But the great saintly, the greatly realized saints, okay, highly knowledgeable, wise, saintly persons could understand everything is related to everything in this universe. Everything is connected, whether material or spiritually, physically or subtly. Everything is connected, directly or indirectly, to everything in this universe. Okay, some are directly connected, some are indirectly connected. Some are actively connected, some are passively connected. But it's a whole internet, infinite internet. Whole universe, infinite universe is nothing but infinite internet through active connections and passive connections, all pervading. And that's where an astrological science, astronomical or astrological science appeared. They could figure it out. Before all these computer systems of calculations, very subtle and fine, okay, accurate system of mathematical calculations through computer happened. How they could very accurately mathematically calculate those great yogis, wise persons, thousands of years back, okay, calculate about solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, okay, and all the positions of the constellations we find in the cloudless skies, and how they are moving around, the timing of the sunrise and sunset, timings for the moonrise, moonset, how they could calculate. See? Clearly means they had higher dynamics of knowledge. So, the modern astronomical science cannot prove. They are amazed. They are simply wonderstruck. They are astounded, thinking how they could manage such subtle mathematical calculations exactly by reaching the seconds. Okay, not even minutes, seconds, exactly when the solar eclipse, lunar eclipse will start, when they are going to end. How they calculated the year, months, all the tithis, and the months and years and the solar cycle throughout the year, lunar cycle throughout the year, and they base their mathematical calculation both ways in Jyotish. In the world of the Jyotish, we find both ways. One based on solar calculations, methods of solar calculation, one based on lunar calculations. Okay? Saura Ganana, Chandra Ganana, we call. Two methods of calculations are there in astrological field. One following solar-oriented method, other lunar, moon-oriented method. Both are closely connected with the earth. So how they did that? They realized everything in this cosmos, in this universe, are related to each other, actively or passively, grossly or subtly, directly or indirectly. And that's how they could realize into the great world of astrological science. It works in a subtle way. Astrologer has to be genuine. Okay, if the astrologer is genuine, okay, truly wise one, then the predictions can work. Realistic predictions they can make. They can definitely make some realistic announcement and predictions. But alas, in most of the cases, the astrologers are not qualified to make the astrological calculations. Therefore, we do not find very many predictions are coming true. The disqualified astrologers, they don't know in the first place. So what can we expect? Any question? Relevant or irrelevant? I would like to invite some queries related or unrelated to these topics. But back to the point, definitely what Guru Maharaj mentioned, Guru Maharaj indicated to us that expression is that there are many living beings living inside this stone, all around, inside, or throughout the whole stone existence, stone entity. That's what Guru Maharaj meant. Alright, so herein I am putting rest to my Harikatha. Hare Krishna.